pile, all right? And then if everyone does the same thing, the shelves will be empty, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Black Friday or Black Friday on steroids.
Yeah.
You know?
And that creates hysteria, and then people basically end up in fights and so forth. And then they have to basically have this place on lockdown, man. And even in the news right now, politicians are having to roll with extra guards, man. Armed guards and all sorts. Because they're scared if their word no deal gets said on the news.
Neck, man.
Well, that's prophecy, man.
Yeah.
That's prophecy. They should not regard their king. I got it.
I was gonna get that after.
Okay, come on.
Go for that one.
This is 2nd Ezra 16:18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
Great death.
The beginning,
Not death.
the beginning of famines, man, and that's one of the things that they evaluated would happen. Is all the ordinance that, or the algorithm of things that Esau has set up with trade in Britain is going now is going to have to be all reassessed and reset up again, redesigned, man. All right, because the way it's working now is trade with other countries and so forth. That ain't going to be happening anymore, man. So then they're going to have to make new laws and then see if this system works, that system doesn't work. It's going to be chaos, man. And people ain't going to just sit at home bunning a zubi. You know what I mean? That high is gonna wear off. That bread and circuses is gonna wear off, and people are gonna have to deal with what they've been running from for so long, man. When you ain't got food in your plate, you're not gonna be watching X Factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna be thinking about bangers and mash. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, things are gonna get real bad.
It says the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear.
The beginning of wars, and that's what an example is civil war, where people just say, fuck it, you know what? When things become desperate people do make desperate decisions. And that was an example. People who are out food start eating their pets, and in this country they'll probably eat a child first and a pet second. I'm saying. It's a dog.
Cold bastards.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean,
I didn't like him anyway.
Esau loves animals, man.
Yeah.
When it comes to, affection.
fuck that devil, man.
Go ahead.
It says, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall...
Read that,
What shall I do?
This is the next one shall arrive then.
No, 19. Yeah, no, Salaki, yeah, continue where you go.
It says, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Right, the beginning of evils, man, so the beginning of a bad time. Alright, and we can see that in the UK, and we also see that building up around the world with the different relationships that different governments have between each other, alright, and the buying of weapon technologies between different countries, the economy in different countries. We can see on every scale and faction of the way this society is going down. Go ahead.
And it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent.
Famine and plague and tribulation. So that's hard times to bear. Go ahead.
And anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Scourges for amendment. Now, we were saying it earlier. There's a correction and there's a reason why there will be a famine. There's a reason why that tribulation is coming to the UK, right? Now you just got to look at the history. Where did all this wealth come that they stand to lose now because of this Brexit? Where did it come from, man?
That's right.
You Negroes, man. All right? Brothers in captivity. The transatlantic slave trade, man.
Yep.
But then here it is, that prestige that we was going into earlier, that was the blood of the saints, man.
That's right.
That was blood of Jakes. And that's where they got that pride. All this banking and so forth, man. Their banks were set off of the backs of Jake. We were the commodity, man.
Yeah.
So why now is the Jake gonna be like, oh no, the country's going down, we need to do what we did in World War II, we need to save the country. We need to work harder. You know? Nah, man, this is the second leg of the Roman Empire, man, not the first part, man. They ain't no giving balm to this one, man. You know? This one's going down. Go ahead.
But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness.
Yeah, because they don't see what they did in the past as a bad thing. So they're just going to continue in their wickedness, man. Go ahead.
Nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Yeah, so just because you see something go up and go down, a situation on the news, an article or whatever's going on in the news, just know that it's like a salt timer, man. Each bit of salt, once that time runs out, it's finished, man. It adds, every little altercation or incident adds to the bigger picture, man. The prophecies will be fulfilled. Yeah, you got 15.
Yep. 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Right, woe unto the world. It didn't just say Britain, it said the whole world, man. Alright? There's problems in this world right now, man. We've spoken about many of them.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Right, man. Their destruction is drawing nigh. And we see that from, like the scripture says, comparing spiritual things with spiritual things, going into the news articles, and also just generally the whole spirit of this place you can see is crumbling, man. Go ahead.
It says, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen with this no-deal Brexit, or predicted to happen. That's why they need security for the politicians, and what will happen is the police are only going to be willing to do so much, because if there's no food, they've got to worry about their children and families at home.
Exactly.
And their extended families also, man. Their grandmother ain't died yet.
Yeah.
Grandparents. They're like, I can't go to work. I can't even mortgage. What mortgage? The bank's closed. They took all our money. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So they ain't gonna be worried about that, man. The only ones that will is the military. The military are gonna have to step in, and that's when you're gonna have curfews, etc.
Yeah, you ain't gonna have no one, serving you. Would you like a receipt? You ain't gonna, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna have no. Look, man. This ain't gonna be running like the way you see it right now, like over there in Waitrose. Yeah. Look, man, you ain't gonna have guys serving you at the checkouts, bro.
Yeah.
Okay? It's done. It's gonna be fucked.
No universal credit.
No, bro. The system is gonna tank. You know?
Basically, the police are gonna be more than anything. They're gonna be scared to go to work. They're not even gonna want people to identify them as being a police officer. Because Britain's known for hooliganism anyway. So when you go around the world, you hear when the so-called British public get passionate about something, whether it's sport or whatever it is, they start to destroy the towns and cities where people live, or their own towns and cities where they live, man. And one thing they have a passionate hatred for is against the police force, man. And that's just commonly known. If there's a protest and they're having their beers, they sniff the light, they break the local shop, If they spot a police officer, they run, a whole group of them will run after them, man.
Yeah, that's the spirit. And you even had the London riots.
Yeah.
Police cars are getting torched, trashed. And it says, but there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Invading. So you're going to be sitting in your chair and you're going to be like, you're not going to be thinking about the likes and the friends that you had on social media. And by the way, social media, when you look into it, it was actually made for conflict. It was actually made for conflict. When you look at the people who made it, it was intended that way. But pretty much, you're not going to be looking at the positives of social media and how many people like you. You're going to be thinking about that cunt that owes you money. I mean, where's my money? I'm going to his house here, burn up his blood.
I've done you a lot of favours, mate.
I've been patient with you.
Run me my shit.
An example of that is, you know that Will Smith movie when he's trying to get the job?
Oh yeah, Pursuit of Happiness?
Yeah. Pursuit of Happiness. You're going to be in that pursuit to try and survived the next day.
Run my shit, nigga.
And Will Smith kept going back to that guy he lent money and saying, "Where's my money? Pay me my money."
Oh yeah, Wayne. Wayne. He's calling for Wayne.
You see?
You know, I need my money.
You know?
You know? And he was like, I thought I didn't owe you that no more.
Yeah.
He goes, why would you think that? He goes, because I helped you move. And he was like, run me my money. I need my money. You know?
Because when you lose everything, you lose your mind.
And you know he had a son. So he was in desperate times.
In desperate times.
Yeah.
You're worried about the likes, you're worried about the unlikes.
Hey, this woman was a demon, man. This woman was a demon.
Yeah.
You know? She wasn't trying to be with him, man. She was trying to dip and have an easy life.
Yeah. She said, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Keep you.
And she left for you.
Like that guy, like his wife, the man's wife from the road.
Right.
You know? They're gonna rape me.
Yeah.
They're gonna eat me. Yeah. And she went off in the cold with not about a t-shirt on.
That's the spirit. The brother of Karma Kapash mentioned that at the beginning of the camp.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
He mentioned that.
They gonna kill me.
Yeah.
They're gonna eat me.
Yeah. And there's gonna be a lot of that killing and eating and burp, man. Yeah.
You're not going to be able to ignore it with your BMW stunting on the hose, man.
Yeah.
No petrol.
You're not even going to have no petrol to put in the plastic car.
You're just gonna sit in there
Yeah.
and bolt the door.
You know what, yeah?
In the boot.
I guarantee you, in that time, man, you're gonna have a silver Jake. This is finally my chance to ride the Range Rover.
I know. I was thinking
Always wanted one of these.
Innit?
Always wanted
It's
a
gonna
Ferrari.
go. You get a screwdriver. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, for 10 minutes, then the petrol runs out.
Yeah. Playing some Gucci Mane. Go ahead.
It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one
Yeah,
another.
so when it speaks about invading one another, like a person might be at home asleep, and your friend next door, God, there's a possible for you, he's entered your home, man. You know, he's going through your shit, you know, going through your lockers, trying to find the food, man.
Yeah, like the Joker. When he went to that woman's home, the Joker.
Oh yeah.
He just walked in through the front door, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Oh, and like, remember the purge when that guy was trying to take that woman?
Coming.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, invading one another, that's basically your privacy. And that, lawfully, you wouldn't be able to invade somebody else's privacy.
That's law.
So then, in other words, they're going to be taking the law into their own hands. And that's what it means by invading one another, man. Man's just going to do what he sees just to himself.
Well, he's just gonna do he's gonna be doing what he needs to survive.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Things are going to become very primitive.
You know? Yep. But there shall be sedition among men. And I believe that word sedition goes into a violent uprising against authority.
Yeah.
You know? So there's gonna, hey man.
Yeah, like we were saying, the police ain't going to want it.
Yeah, man.
Police ain't going to
They
want
ain't gonna want that smoke.
Fight power.
And then what happens when the public don't adhere to the laws of the land?
They're gonna get fucked up.
The military have to step in.
Yeah.
It has to become order through chaos.
Through chaos, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Order and chaos.
Yeah.
You know?
Chaos.
And that's Esau's his Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. He controls the uproars of the people, protests, all his formula.
Yeah.
You know? Uproar, civil unrest. Then he's got the reaction to it, and then he comes with a solution.
That's because, because Esau's already, like we said, this is Esau has long planning and devising all this. That's why we was going into it, man. And we wake, you practice it.
Yeah, that's right. Might be 2 and 1. Yep.
All right, because he might get it. The reason is because he's been thinking about how he can, if it goes this way, how can I? This is going to happen, but how can I control this problem? How can I orchestrate this problem and make it go where I want it to go? Yeah, it's going to be bad, but I can control the narrative, basically. Esau's about controlling the narrative. Yep. So as long as he can put in his puppets and little minions to make what he wants to be people to believe, using the media, which is a very powerful witchcraft tool, to convince people that something is a problem when it's really not, or something's not a problem when it's really a problem.
Or to demonize.
You know, or yeah, very powerful tool. So you can be very manipulated by Esau's narrative.
Witchcraft, yeah.
And that's part of his device, man, his plan.
Yep. It says, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Yeah, so the authorities and leaders of this
Ain't gonna care,
this
bro.
society, man, the politicians, they already hate them now. They already hate them. That's why it's like, listen, we need 5 or one stand here, one stand there, and pretty much that thing that happened over at Parliament when I think the politician got stabbed or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
That happened, man. So they're in fear right now. Generally, you know, we know that was all orchestrated by Esau.
Yeah.
But the sentiment is that you know, if you see what that happened, that's going to be 10 times worse. According to the
Hey, well, like it shows you in the Batman with the one with Bane. You know, what the Bane said, the rich shall be ripped from the decadent nests. You know, and then it cut to the scene where you had this cracker getting dragged out, getting dragged out from under the table. You know, a woman was getting dragged down the stairs, about to get raped. Like, it was fucked. Then you had the prisons, they just started storming the streets with guns and shit. You know?
Hey, and like, you know, I'm not even trying to turn into a joke, but even remember DMX, that track, stop being.
You've been eating long enough now.
Yeah.
Stop being greedy. Yep.
Give to the needy, and the Jake's all come in the house.
Yeah, ribs is hurting. So don't make me wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that shit gonna be real, man. You know?
Yep. It's gonna get real, boy.
Teams on your face.
Yeah, cause you know the average Brit, they ain't really like fearing right now because it ain't live and direct in your face yet. Right now you just got Extinction Rebellion, save the planet. But bro, it's gonna look, that can go left real quick.
Yeah, that real quick.
Yeah. And it says.
After that, innit?
Come on. And it said, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power.
Yeah, because for a time there's gonna be no one to stop them, or it's in the spirit of the Heavenly Father that's gonna be fulfilled, man. So they're gonna be able to let off some steam, man. Alright? They're gonna be able to exhaust their anger for a period of time, and it's really Esau that's gonna allow it to do that, so that he can justify whatever he wants to do.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
There you go. That's the spirit, man. So dire situations, desperate times.
Yeah.
You know, Brexit in the UK. You know, a war going on. Rumors of wars, man. Things going on with the economy.
ID 2020, man.
So
Chip.
2020, man. Things are getting real bad, and the RFID chip is, getting more popular and popular in certain countries. But on top of that, they're finding more innovative ways of consent, and also normalizing the RFID chip, that the system of it, the artificial intelligence, that people will accept it more easily. And then that time where war really gets things bad, alright, whether the US does something or Russia does something or whoever, that's going to turn things, speed things up, man, and World War III is underway, man. Alright, so anyway, any brothers got anything else you want to say?
Hey, man. Real ID 2020, man. You know, hopefully that chip next year, man. Lord willing. Alright?
Anyway, with that, man, we're going to say shalom, man.
All praise to Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders. Shalom to the brethren. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah.